Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today what I'd like to talk about is knife handles. Now over the years I've had a couple of thousand knives, and I would say probably about 70% of them I've actually had to modify to get them to suit my hand, to get the ergonomics right and the way that I work with knives. Now there's a few videos up on my channel that you'll actually see me where I've done it. And for example, one of them was the Tops tracker, the Mark 1, and I took that down to Origin Knives to get the blade altered on it and also the handle, and this made a big difference to the knife. I mean, it actually changed it totally to make it a knife that, well, when I first got it, all I wanted to do was actually just leave it in my drawer at home, because it was just too uncomfortable and it just didn't do what it was supposed to do with the grinds and the discomfort the handle was causing me. So once I altered it, changed the knife totally. And that also goes for the Tops Bob. I've got a video up on that as well. So one of the problems that I've been finding with them is not having an exposed tang. And you can see here, this is the Condor Village Parang, a wooden handle, and what I've done is I just took a hacksaw and took off 10mm and left this exposed tang, so when I hit this into a log and it's stuck at an angle, I can just hit the handle and it'll straighten the blade out and allow me to hit the spine in the correct position. Now this is one of the things I'm talking about when it comes to an exposed tang. I'd like to push the knife a bit more forward here to give me a bit more real estate so I can hit my batten in. So this requires me hitting this area here at the tang, and as I said earlier, this is one of the reasons I want an exposed tang, because if I hit the spine here at the butt, there's a chance I could start chipping the material of whatever your knife is made of. So this adds a risk to breaking off the handle slabs through time, and that's why you're looking to get an exposed tang. You can do that also. In some woods that'll work fine, but a lot of woods that doesn't work, okay, and it'll require you to hit here, and this can ruin your handle materials. And you can see I've roughly got about an inch. I could get that pushed forward, and I just don't want to hit my handle material at the rear. So we'll do it like this, and that's working fine today. But there will be a lot of times that won't work because the density of the wood and how much water it's holding. Another thing I'd like to talk about is the length of the handles. Now, what I find over the years is a lot of my knives that I've got from America seem to have smaller handles, and I don't know why that is. It's probably because I've bought so many from the States. But I like where we can at least get a bit with your gloves sticking out, where I find with a lot of my American knives that isn't the case, and I wear gloves all the time. So handle length is another thing I find is very important, and that's one of the advantages of buying custom made knives. If you could afford it, I would recommend it all the time. To start off with, if you're just getting into your bushcrafting, yep, go for your Moras, the cheap stuff, to see if you're going to stick this out. But through time, I would say it every time, go for custom if you can afford it. And listen, they're all expensive, It's just a case that you're going to need to save up, get your wee cash tin, get the pennies dropped into it, and it'll amazes you how quick that'll mount up through time. So when you do that, people like E.G.O Origin knives, they measure the handle length for you and get it to fit perfect. Now, handle shape is vital that you get this correct for the jobs and the tasks that you're going to do with your knives, because if you don't, well, this is when you end up not using your knives. Now, this large parang here at the end does a totally different job to this one here. This one's ideal for butchering, doing meat, game prep, where we go to the Garberg and it's more a generic bushcrafter. Then we have a custom bushcrafter here, which is very comfortable, and then we have a neck knife which does a totally different job. So getting the shape right of the handle for the task ahead is vital. Now, if you're doing a lot of stabbing type actions, puncturing, skin, meat, well, you need to get the handle shape right and slightly squared, so when you stick it in or stab it in and you've got any torquing actions, the knife doesn't twist in your hand. So if you're doing a lot of puncturing of meat for game, that is vital. Okay, if you're doing a lot of carving, well, something like this, where you can hold the knife in any position for greatest comfort. Now, another thing about having these scallops and these facets in a handle is you need to watch that the contouring is done right, because some knives look fantastic and these become very uncomfortable if they get this wrong, this shaping. Now, for example, I'll put a link in below my copy of the Dave Beck tracker knife done by Barkriverknives. Had to totally change the handle shape because they got this contouring wrong and the shape wrong for my hand. They've done a great job right enough, but it's done generically and it was totally uncomfortable. So check out the link below, and if you're looking at a knife, if you can, handle it first, get a feel for it, see if it fits your hand, especially if you're going to like the bushcraft show and the knife makers are there. Ask if you can get out the display cabinet, get a feel and make sure it fits your hand properly and that none of these type scallops are sticking up and causing hot spots or any discomfort to you, because if they do, you'll just won't use the knife. So I'd like to also talk about the materials that we use on the handles of the knives. So this one here has a lovely wooden handle, but what I find here, this is my hard use knife. This is one of the knives that you give to your friends when you're up in the woods and you don't mind if they hit rocks and stuff like this. This is what I use this knife for, because the 1075, the steel that it's made of, it just keeps coming back for more. But one of the things you find with wooden handles, if they're left exposed to the dampness, wet, which this type of knife does, and I don't really mind. And if I show you just at the end of the tape here, you can see it's got a big chunk out of it and it's actually split underneath this amalgamating tape. This tape's just to give me an additional grip, but also to help protect the handle. So wood's okay for maybe dry areas, and I haven't gotten really well with wooden handles just because I'm not the greatest at actually maintaining my knives. I've got a tendency once the weekend finishes, just throw my kit in the back of the car and then come out the following week and just take it out. And if it's been a week in the car damp, well, you can see why. But if you look after your knives, wood's not a problem, especially if you get them oiled up and stuff like that. But for me, wood isn't one of the materials that I would go for first. So I'll just show you some of the materials that I've been using over the years. This here is kerinite. Now the problem I have with Kerinite is it's too nice looking. When I get nice with Kerinite on it, I've got a tendency not to use them because they're just beautiful looking handle blades. I mean, look at this one, it's radiused, it's so comfortable, the grip, it's nice and smooth, it's paralysed, it's just an absolute stunning handle this has got. So, but one of the things is it's not very good with shock and can crack, especially if you're doing a bit of battening if you have Kerinite on larger knives. But on a neck knife, yep, it's fine because very seldom would you actually batten. Okay, so Kerinite, it has its pros and cons. It's definitely one of the best looking handle slab material you'll come across, but not the best for shock. Here we have the Mora Garberg, and this is made of a thermoplastic. This is really tough. It takes a lot of punishment, decent grip on it, but not the most comfortable knife. And I've got the stainless steel version of this. This is the carbon one at the moment I'm using. And I find this area here where we have the thumb scallops and certain grips, prolonged carving, this can be quite uncomfortable. So on my other knife I've actually removed a fair bit of the plastic material here at the front of the knife. Very tough if you need a blade that you're going to be hard on, especially battening, and you sometimes need to hit the handle. This stuff can take it, but it's not the most comfortable. And when I find I'm doing any prolonged carving, it can really start to give you a couple of hot spots. But toughness is, that's something you're looking for in a blade. Well, have a look at something like this. They've done their best to try and get a generic shape to cover as many tasks as possible for bushcrafters, and they've done a good job, but not the most comfortable. And it can be quite cold as well, especially if you've been carrying a knife and you've been in sub-zero temperatures. It's not the greatest in comfort either. Takes a bit to heat up. Here we have this bushcrafter done by Origin Knives. Now this handle actually took 4 years in the making to get the right shape and the right material. This one here is made of G10 with green liners. Hopefully you can pick that out on the blade. This is probably the most comfortable handle I've had on any knife in any grip. He's done a great job. He's got the front edge scallop down, thumb ramps, stabilising platform, thumb ramps where you can go over the top and pinch up the blade, lever grips, reverse grips, fits the hand perfect. So this one's done a G10, nice bright colour in case you sit this down in the woods, easy to pick up with the naked eye. G10's really waterproof, quite shock proof. I've actually had some knives where it's actually caused a bit of shock to come through it, but 9 out of 10 of them it's been very good. Good wear resistance on this as well, easy to clean. So if you're doing any hunting, yeah, washes up, scrubs up well, can bleach it. That's your G10. Now over the years of using knives, this material here, Permale, I've found to be the best material that I've come across for thermal properties, ease of shaping, just a bit of sandpaper. If you've got any high spots on it, just get a quick rub and it'll shape up and you'll get the ergonomics perfect. The skin is shockproof, waterproof, salt waterproof. I mean, this stuff is absolutely amazing, and I think they actually use this, the military, in some of their vehicles, and it can, at the right thickness, be bulletproof as well. Really I love this stuff, and it looks natural, easy to shape. So that's Permale. I don't know if you've used that yourselves, but I could highly recommend this stuff. Okay then, just to finish up then, it's just to say that hopefully that bit of advice helps you out on your next purchase of a knife. These are some of the pros and cons I've come across with my knives over the years. I also find that the more simple the shape and the contour of the handle, the more likely the knife is going to work for you. And another thing is, the shape must fit your hand properly and offer you various grips and the ability to change them with great dexterity in an instance with safety in mind. Thanks again for coming along to the channel, and I really do appreciate your support. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in my next video. Cheers.